This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube. 2025 Royal Rumble from Indianapolis is in the books. I watched the highlights, read the results. I'm very, very happy that I did not watch it. Sorry about that echo. But DIY retained the tag titles against the Motor City Machine Guns. I can't say that I like either of those teams at all. In a match that probably zero people are surprised. You would have to be developmentally disabled to have thought Kevin Owens, who was just knocked out by Shawn Michaels on Saturday night's main event last week, had a snowball's chance in hell of beating Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens lost to Cody Rhodes, as expected. Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble. Becky Lynch was not in the Royal Rumble, surprisingly. Nikki Bella was back for the Royal Rumble. Trish Stratus was back. I heard from my friends that did watch the Women's Royal Rumble, they did not like it. They said it was very flat. For the Men's Royal Rumble, there was a winner that a lot of people didn't expect to win. Jey Uso. He won, and John Cena has announced he's going to do the Elimination Chamber. It's expected, and they certainly hinted at it, that Cena will win that and challenge Cody Rhodes for the real World Championship at WrestleMania. They were already hinting that Jey Uso wants to challenge Gunther. Why you would want to challenge Gunther when Cody Rhodes just beat Gunther in Saudi Arabia clean, establishing that his title is by far, as if it wasn't already, by far the only true world title in wrestling right now. It is the title with the most value by far in wrestling right now. The title Cody Rhodes has. So I personally, although most people were thinking John Cena would not win, I'm disappointed to hear that Jey Uso won just because I'm not a fan of Jey Uso. Would have liked to have seen somebody else win, whether it be John Cena or Roman Reigns or just somewhere else. That's just my personal taste, just because I'm not a. Jey Uso does a lot of super kicks, and I just. Wrestlers that do a lot of leg slapping stuff, I just can't get into them. So I'm glad I didn't watch this. Stephanie McMahon was back. She introduced the whole show. I watched a bunch of the post show, which is, I mean, the WWE is all about Triple H these days, for better or worse. A lot of people like him. Um, Again, I'm not a fan of his booking. I'm not a fan at all of the current product. But I don't deny that they're making more money than ever because streaming services are paying more money than ever, and they're great businessmen, and they know how to like reduce events and make people travel more to events, so they pay more money to go to events. Plus, they got all that Saudi Arabia money that never existed before. So they are doing great, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'd rather watch an 80s episode of Superstars or early 90s episode of Superstar. I'm really disappointed about that Royal Rumble winner. I mean, I would have liked to seen The Rock come back and win it, honestly, but apparently The Rock didn't appear at all. And WWE also announced they're going to be doing a new show on Tubi called Evolve, which will be basically the more green wrestlers that are not ready for NXT yet, and the WWID wrestlers competing in like a studio format to help get them experience to try and make one of the bigger shows. So yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you, Stevie. I'm really like that. Just to me, that guy just is not my style of wrestler. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. He's like a mid card guy at best to me. And young Macho Man, I think Charlotte Flair she's reached her peak. She reached her peak a few years ago. She's lost a lot of steam. Liv Morgan came back to. I mean, I would have. I mean, Rhea Ripley is by far the most popular female in WWE, but I don't know. To me, Charlotte's had her run. I mean, she's still useful, but her winning, I don't know, man. I'm glad I didn't watch it. Is all I can say. Colton did not like it. I mean, I hate to be negative, but it's just I don't like it. I did the most entertaining thing I've seen this weekend is Joey Janela getting attacked by a guy that he had heat with at a wrestling convention. As bad as the fight was, there was realism to it, and it was funny. Um, and just off the cuff, and there everything is just so lame. It seems to me everything's really lame. I can only describe wrestling these days as lame. And people can say it might be making more money than ever, but you don't hear people talking about it. I work out at the gym every single day. I go to two different gyms. I never hear anybody talking about wrestling. So you can say it's more hot now than the 80s and the Attitude Era all you want. Back in those days you would see the t-shirts everywhere and everybody knew all the angles. People were quoting The Rock and Steve Austin. You just don't see that now. But I don't doubt they're making more money than ever. But to me, I'm really glad I only watched the highlights, which I got in about 15 minutes. And as I said, I'm very disappointed that Jey Uso won. Someone says Logan Paul was top three. At least Logan Paul has a following, but I don't know, man. I'm glad that maybe it's because I'm older. Maybe it's because I'm 42 now that I just don't like it, and I liked wrestling when I was a kid. Maybe it's only that, but the behind the scenes stuff is about all that